Hello guys, this will be my final build for the ruler class. If you have seen my previous video before, the ruler class showcase, that was what I was using at the moment, so it isn't really considered as complete yet, the final build. So right now more or less I have the final build that you can perhaps say is like for the end game ready. End game build. So I'll be sharing you what I'm using. So if you want to give it a try, do go ahead. So for my main character, I have readjusted his stats. I went for vitality for a bit or some of the recovery potion rate increase. Then I put some into agility and perception, so I'll have a minimum damage dealt, and also critical rate, critical damage, and some increase for the evasion. So if we look at the stat details, there is a cap or limit for it seems. So the critical damage, I think about 1500 is the maximum. Then for defense penetration, I think about 750. So that's probably the limit or cap for it. Then my precision is 70%, which is the minimum damage dealt. For my weapons, I'm using these two, the Shadow Sight and the Thunder Dragon Sword, I'll call it. So the reason being why I use this weapon is because this weapon can teleport to the enemy or boss behind and deal damage. It can also increase his critical rate and inflict paralyze effect. So for the Shadow side, you gain super armor and you gain critical hit rate and critical hit damage. So both weapons is more or less related to critical critical rate and critical damage. So when using both of them together, pretty much you can teleport to the enemy or boss whenever you want and deal damage. For my team formation, this is what I always prefer using, 2 healer and 1 ice mage. As for the ice mage, it's definitely pretty useful in all situations, especially in co-op. If 4 of you have ice mages, you can pretty much take turn freezing the boss. Pretty convenient. You won't have to worry too much about getting hit and so on. For my shadows, it'll be these 3. It'll be Igrius, Tas, and Kaize. So the 3 of them have this different buff. Kaize for ultimate skill damage, Tas for heavy attack damage, and Igrius for critical hit rate. I don't know if the buff is for you included or maybe just for the shadows. I'm not sure about that, but whatever it is, if it buffs you, then you have this amazing buff. So this is what I'm using, my set equipment. I use the Almighty Shaman, Burning Grid, and Beast. So Almighty Shaman increases attack and burn damage. Then for Burning Grid, which is this T10 gloves, it increases your stagger effect, and because it's T10, you also have more attack percentage than the T9. So T9 is 66%, T10 is 86%. So with the increased stagger effect and more damage, I would say it's a pretty good glove. Another boots that I will recommend, if you ever want to consider using, is this Burning Curse boots. When you do extreme evasion, you increase your damage for a short time. So if you move around a lot, or you like dodging enemy bosses attack, then you can probably consider going for these boots if you do manage to get them. But if you are not confident in your dodges, or you block more than you dodge, then I would say just keep the Almighty boots for the burn damage. So yeah, for the beast set, if critical isn't activate, then you have more chance to do critical hit on your next attack. Stacks until 30 times, so which is why the both weapons that I'm using, the Shadow Sight and the Thunder Dragon Sword, absolutely it benefits from the accessory set. So this is my blessing stone that I'm using. So daily quest completion, definitely something I don't think I'll be replacing. It's just that good. You have a second chance. So this domain, what it does is when you summon a shadow, so both your shadow's attack and your own attack increase for a certain amount of time. I would say it is pretty good, but don't pay too much attention on the shadow's attack, because most of the time for me, I would summon the shadow to distract the boss. Then if the shadow is able to tank, able to survive, then just do as much damage as the shadow can before it gets destroyed. But before using this domain, this was what I was using the most. I was using this Swift Strike the most. No, not this Swift Strike, my apologies. Swiftness. Yes, Swiftness. I'm using this the most before the domain, because you get additional dash and attack speed. So if you dash too much, then, or you dash a lot, this will definitely benefit you. So the next blessing stone is a boss slayer. More damage dealt to the boss monsters. Definitely a lot of damage, I would say, since I do combos here and there. Pretty much I would say you can pretty much solo the bosses yourself, no issue. A lot of damage done. Next is this HP extraction. So if you ever defeat an enemy, restore your HP, or you hit an elite rank or higher rank monster, then you also have a chance to heal your HP. So if you were to put 2 healers and this HP extraction, as long as you don't get hit too much or you don't get one shot, I think pretty much it should be fine for you. So for my skill tree, obviously since I'm ruler class, I max all the ruler out. Then next one, I would go for assassin. If you max out ruler, this skill I'm not using. I'm going for the passive and so on, like this one, ambush. Remember the 2 weapons that I was using? Yeah, both of them would teleport behind the enemy and bosses to deal damage. So this will increase the damage. So for this one, critical rate when you attack from behind. So definitely when you teleport, you do your damage from behind, increase your critical rate. And this one, the passive, yeah, critical hit damage, also from behind. And this chain smash, small chance to inflict damage proportional to their current HP. So altogether, if you use weapons that teleport to the enemy behind, I would say you would wanna learn all this skill. I mean, even if you don't use weapon that teleports behind, you can just still move behind the boss. Use your shadow or whatever to distract and just move behind the boss to do damage. So it also works. What's cool is that it also applies to your hunter. If you ever want to learn this passive or critical rate for all your hunters, it also works. So next one is the weapon skill tree. So I'm using sword and polearm, which is the thunder sword and the shadow side. So for my sword, I would learn until the end. Because when you use a weapon skill, you increase your attack and defense. And then if your current HP is below 30, you gain a shield. So yeah, for this one, if you gain a shield, you increase your attack and defense. So pretty much you learn this all together until here. I think it should be quite enough for the sword. So for the shadow side, I would focus on the skill damage. I max it out. Then go for increased stagger, max it out. This basic attack is not really that much useful, so I don't really pay too much attention. But this one is definitely worth learning. Increased damage dealt to staggered targets. So for the next one, when you use the skill, you gain super armor. Then this is I would say one of the better ones, because if you ever get hit while you teleport behind using the shadow side, you do additional damage. So pretty much I would say both the sword and polearm more or less I would recommend you to learn until here and so on. So If you want to get the this skill scroll, just do world map and also clear the I think they call it raid, which is use the key to craft the invitation, then clear the first time reward. So for my Monarch Awakening, I learned this, increase my X gauge at the start of the stage, then gain a shield again, increase damage dealt while I'm using the Monarch Awakening, then decrease my damage taken, use the heavy attack mutilate. I would say this is must learn because you decrease the defense of your enemies, especially the boss. You want to decrease their defense. Then at the same time, if it hits, then it will charge your gauge. So if you don't know what this heavy attack skill does, it is this skill. Yeah, so after using this skill, you will decrease the enemy or boss's defense. If you learn this, of course. If you don't learn this, then won't be any defense decrease. So for the potion, for those that like to use Swiftness Blessing Stone like me, you may want to consider maybe using these Tears of the Ice elves to replace the Swiftness Blessing Stone. Then if you ever get a drink, like let's say decrease the dash cooldown, all combined together, pretty much it'll be quite stacked. So I don't think you have to worry about without the Swiftness Blessing Stone. So lastly, before I end this video, just wanna say that if you ever wonder how to get fast Blessing Stone, legendary Blessing Stone, I would say grind the keys if you don't have them. So if you ever do have the keys already, you can craft it right here. There's two different invitation. So Brilliant Light is where you get all your equipment, and Power of Destruction invitation is guarantee costume, random, and Blessing Stone. So you want to focus on the Power of Destruction invitation. Yeah, so this is the key that I'm talking about. Of course, if you want to farm the Blessing Stone, do remember to have a lot of pure water and mana fragments, so that you can craft a lot of them. Then you go ahead and farm the stages for Blessing Stone. So yeah, as you can see here, this is the Power of Destruction. You get a random costume guarantee and a Blessing Stone, either rare or heroic. So this is how you farm the Blessing Stone in the fastest way if you do not want to do raid gate. For now, if you ask me, About Red Gate, what I think of Red Gate, I would say yes, Red Gate has a lot of resources, but if I just want the Blessing Stone, then Red Gate is definitely taking too long. So this is the fastest way to get Blessing Stone, while Red Gate for me is more like farming shadow material instead, you know, to upgrade your shadow. So if you want to upgrade your shadow, Red Gate. If you want Blessing Stone, definitely get the key, grind the key and do this stage. You don't really have to go all the way. You can do the lowest and you'll still be fine. You can do it solo for sure. So yeah, there's one of my videos where I show you where to farm the not Blessing Stone, the key. The fastest way to grind for key in my personal discovery. I find that chapter 5, Death Stalker is the fastest for me personally. Of course, do bring fire type if you wanna do this stage. Because it will definitely help clear the stage much faster. So if you see right here, the Death Stalker level 40, this is the key. And the reason why I say this is the fastest for me, so let me show you. I'm not sure where you would like to farm your keys, but this is the stage where I farm my keys for the power of destruction to craft it. Yeah, so just like that, you can clear it pretty fast. So you just have to, keep grinding the same stage to get the key. So this is how I grind my key. Just like that.
The main story's been
So yeah, that's pretty much my showcase for the ruler class, my personal, final build for the game. If you want to give it a try, then yeah, this is what I'm sharing with you. And yeah, that's all. Goodbye.